All right, brace yourselves, because the airport experience may soon become even more unpleasant, to the extent that it could. The TSA recently announced two dismaying decisions: to allow unionization of its workforce, and also not to allow any more airports to hire private security screeners instead of the TSA. Here to break down what these decisions mean for the future of the TSA and your personal liberties is Nicole Kurakawa, Senior Policy Analyst for the Independent Women's Forum. Nicole, it's a pleasure. Welcome to Freedom Watch.
Thanks for having me.
What does this mean for the average member of the traveling public that the TSA goons who participated in the porn or grope now may be members of labor unions?
As you said before, it was bad before, and it's going to get a lot worse, because this was an unaccountable bureaucracy, and now there's going to be an unaccountable bureaucracy with an additional level of unions that are going to be in the middle of all these decisions. Ostensibly, they can't collectively bargain over all different aspects of how TSA is run, only the non-security aspects. But let's bear one thing in mind. Its middle name is security. So pretty much everything they touch has to do with security. So not quite sure how they're going to break that down. But it's really scary.
Does this mean that the TSA workers, and we're watching some of them in their blue uniforms with their blue latex gloves, that they themselves will become a force within the government, independent of the political appointees and civil service superiors who run and manage them? Is that what you're telling us?
Yes, and there's a lot of them, too. There are about 50,000 of them that will join a government union, and accordingly, that's a lot of money that's going to go into union coffers then. This has been something that the administration had pushed, or that President Obama had pushed during the campaign trail. He said he really wanted collective bargaining rights for the Transportation Security Administration. And taking a step back, this is because union numbers in this country have been on the decline.
Other than wanting their votes, why would he, as the President of the United States, want to have to deal with a union? Why would he want to create another force within the government? Why would he want to create some political power that could basically say to him, we want the porn and grope, we want that authority, and we're going to negotiate for it in our next collective bargaining agreement?
Well, there's a lot of money that all these different unions have been pouring into Democratic coffers. Look at the past election, the 2010 cycle, the 2008 cycle. So it's time to pay the piper, and unfortunately the piper is those unions.
Does anybody make the argument, except perhaps you and I and some of our friends, that the TSA is basically unconstitutional, that it inserts itself in a private industry at the most important relationship between that industry, the airlines, and the flying public, that it assumes unto itself a power nowhere granted to the government in the Constitution, that it blatantly violates the Fourth Amendment every minute of every day that it does its work?
Unfortunately, there are not that many people that are sounding that call. I think what we see right now is, people citing Article 1, Section 8, saying, well, it's defense. It's related to defense. And then, of course, the government always likes to fall back on its interstate commerce, or that it's necessary and proper. So I think the big question then is going to be, will anyone ever even stand up and tell the government, on some of these issues, you're pushing the boundaries.
Got it. Nicole Kurakawa, it's a pleasure. Come back and join us again. Thank you.